So lots to talk about, and here to make the show sizzle are Vernon Gray from Gloucestershire's Reform Group. He's making his first appearance on the programme. The Deputy Leader of Somerset's Conservatives, Dawn Denton, and a Labour MP, Matt Bishop, from the Forest of Dean. Let's come to Dawn. I mean, you can't complain, can you, because of what the Tories did with so many leaders. So, yeah, Labour doing the same thing.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily the person who's in number 10. I think what's really important is the person who is in number 10, will they be standing and governing this country according to the programme that we as a country elected? Now, we don't elect a president in this country, but we do elect according to a manifesto, and this country voted in the majority for a manifesto under Keir Starmer. So if someone like Andy Burnham wants to come in and reconfirm his support for that manifesto, then fill your boots, go for it. But if he's going to do any changes, then I think we do have to go back to...
But you didn't say that when Liz Truss came in.
But they all stood as MPs under a manifesto, whereas Andy Burnham...
But they changed the manifesto, they just did different things.
Yeah, but the difference now, I think, is really important, is that Makerfield has been used as a stepping stone to get to number 10, and I think that's not fair on the people of Makerfield.
OK. Well, yes, Brexit and farming coming up shortly, but first... Oh yes, that whistle means it's time for our hydration break, with temperatures reaching the hydration threshold. Here it is. Now the Clyde, well, it's no good booing. I know you don't particularly like it, but there are the rules. Here you are, team. There's one for you and one for you. I've got one.
Thank you.
And mine is the one with the gin in.
What about mine?
No, gin for me.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Generally speaking, Dawn, do you think that it was right to close the schools, or should we have set the kids an example? You know, you carry on.
Well, I mean, I grew up as... Well, when I went to Brownies, actually, I was always taught about being prepared. And I think that's where we kind of need to be. We need to accept that we're going to have hotter weather, we're going to have more extreme temperatures. But if we're prepared, whether it's communities, parishes, maybe considering our infrastructure and our houses, then actually we can create things like heat management plans. We have plans for the cold weather, so it might be time now to consider cooler spaces in some of these communities, because we have to accept that this is what the future is going to look like.
Should we be spending less money perhaps on net zero, which some people say doesn't make much difference in the general global scheme of things, and more on items like air conditioning? Well,
I mean, for me, I'm a big supporter of keeping the environment safe and being, you know, we're the custodians of the environment. But I do think that we maybe need to consider pushing those dates back so that we at least can be realistic about what we want to achieve. So 2030 is not realistic. I think we need to push it to 2040, 2050. But I think what's really important is that we do consider that this is important, and we have to look after our environment. And I think that's we just have to be prepared, resilient, and adapt to the environment. Learn from hot countries. That's, you know, growing up in Africa, you know, I know what it's
managed.
Like. I'm still here to tell the tale.
Okay. Right, let's talk about Brexit 10 years on, particularly as it relates to farming. Clearly there's some buyer's remorse for... Let's move on to Dawn.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a lot more complicated and slower than everybody really hoped. But the reason the farmers wanted to leave was so that our decisions were made here in Britain and not in Brussels. We haven't taken opportunities that we could have, and there are farmers and other agricultural businesses that are really suffering. I also think the EU's not made it very easy, to be honest. We've got the equestrian industry is really suffering. It's really difficult to cross the border and go into Europe and buy and sell horses and training. So, you know, all of those things have compounded, and I think it's just been really very complicated. But also, most of the issues that we have with farmers now are not really down to leaving the European Union. I think most of it is coming from the current Labour government, the struggles that the farmers have had, whether it's from, the energy costs right through to...
Right, so you accept that things aren't as good as perhaps they used to be, but you're saying that it's not the EU, it's not leaving the EU that caused that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's an interesting point.